Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Today's video is going to be a little different from the usual videos, and it will be a two-part video because there's a lot of things to explain and a lot of things to discuss, and the person who I'm featuring in this video had a lot of things to say. Okay, so it will be a two-part video. So let me get right into this.
Stop playing that we don't understand what's going on. These are people that give milk to snake. They worship animals. They worship cows. Cows is a mother god for them. Snake is a mother god. Now again, it's just mother god for them. They worship a head of an elephant with a human body. Ganesh. I mean, the story of Ganesh, when you listen to it, the god Mahadev went away and his wife make a child. Oh Lord. She made this child without the husband. And the husband came back and she said to the child to secure the entrance and don't let anyone in. Okay? Guys, y'all listen to this and I want y'all listen carefully. Right? I want you people to listen to me carefully and share this video so that others would know. Okay? Now, after she made this child, years later, her husband was coming back. And when he was coming home, this is the god Mahadev. When he was coming home, they said they're going to dress her up, bathe her in perfume or whatever, not as she was preparing for her husband. She then said to her son, which is Ganesh, that if he could secure the entrance of people coming into the building. And so he did. Young and chubby, he stood there proud to secure from anyone entering to his mother. And so the god came. That's his god, Mahadev. And when Mahadev came, he saw the young man standing at the door. And they said to him, I want to pass in. And the young man said no. He tried to come in and the young man stopped him. Mahadev pulled out his sword and slashed his neck off of his body. This is a god that the Indians serve. Right? Listen to this. After his head was off of his body now, the wife started crying in anger and she's saying, I want my son back. I want my son back. Give me my son back. She's angry at him. I want my son back. This is her to the god. The god Mahadev then was thinking of ways to help her get her son back, but because the son's head was off the body, he couldn't give the son life. But there is an elephant who had wanted to serve the god Mahadev, and the elephant said, take mine. I want y'all to listen to this carefully. I want y'all to share this video and I want y'all to listen to it very, very carefully. Right? Good. So, they then take the head from the elephant. They kill the head, chop the neck off of the elephant and hand the elephant head over to the god Mahadev. And the Indian god Mahadev put the elephant head on the little boy body, which is Ganesh body. Right? And thus we become Lord Ganesh. Lord Ganesh. Now Mahadev is also known as Shiva and other names. Right? That is a stone with a 3 white mark across. Throughout history, it told you about Mahadev being a man of peace and war when he have to war. But Mahadev was a man with love. He had a wife, he had kids, and he loved his family, and he loved his supporters, and he condemned people doing wrong. But then he did that wrong to that child because he was coming home and he maybe felt something was wrong to his wife. I don't know. But the anger in him, he chopped his neck off. Okay. Now, let's move on. Ganesh become part human, head of an elephant. And the Indians love and they worship him and they praise him. And in Guyana, they worship and they praise Ganesh, the man, elephant head, human body. Right? Good. That's one. Let's move on. You need to know who you're dealing with. You need to know the kind of people you're breaking bread with. You need to know the kind of people heart. You need to know who is around you. You need to know the people who are fighting with you. You need to know the inside out. You need to know the source. You need to read about them. And don't let it tell you madness. Now, let's go down to the Indians of Guyana, calling black people monkey, apes, and whatever not more, whatever not more, whatever not more. Okay. Now, the thing is with them, there is another God. And his name is Hanuman. And Hanuman have a face of a monkey and the strength of 1,000 monkeys. That's another Indian God. That's another God. But then it shows you that Hanuman, with his monkey face and his tail and his body, he loved his people. And he fought for his people. And he condemned cruel to his people. So he protect them. Really, really protect them. And then there is Mother Kali, the god of strength, the god of war. You have a warrior, you're calling her, and she come all out. She's black as ever can be, blacker than me, blacker than many black people. And in some books would tell you Kali is a black woman with long dreads. And she fought for truth. If you go and pray to her for something or someone done you harm, she fought for you. Kali was a goddess that fought for the poor. She fought for the unjust. She fought for the meek. She fought for the weak. And she protect them. I'll just share this thing. Because in the Indian book, there are many gods and there are many goddesses.
Thank you. Thank you for that religious lesson. I am of Indian descent, but I am not really that kind of a religious person. And I don't know much about the Hindu religion. But my opinion, a lot of things that you are saying about the Hindu religion is fact. But a lot of things you are saying, I see like you're trying to make laugh off of it. So I can correct you. Now, if you look at history, that yes, the Hindus worship snake, they worship cow, they have Ganesh, half human, head of an elephant. We have Hanuman, human body, face of a monkey. Yes, but if you look deep down into the Indians, whose religion is Hindu, they are more successful than the Africans. Could it be possible that is because of this God they serve make them more successful? And the next thing, at least I can say the Indians create their gods, a lot of them. Which god did the Africans create? None. But you dare condemning how much god and who the Indians worship before you try to create a god for yourself. Right? No, but you prefer to sit down there and curse the white people for creating Jesus and making him white. But y'all are not creating nothing. Y'all are not creating a God. Y'all are not creating a religion. But y'all condemning who create theirs. Y'all are condemning who create their God. Now everybody create their God to benefit them, the belief and the success. Maybe that is why you can see the Africans as not as successful as the rest of the world. Probably because they did not create a God. Now, India at the moment is probably the third most richest country in the world. And India don't have no natural resources. Africa, on the other hand, have gold, diamond, oil for decades now, and still they cannot take, I won't say majority, but some of the people out of poverty. That there's still people in Africa still have to depend on the US aid to survive, to get water, to get food, medical help. But before you come out here on social media and condemn other people, religion, race, how they make it in life, what they got through in life, and keep spreading this kind of divide between people. For centuries and centuries, that's all y'all been doing. Complaining about other people's achievements. Now, it's not time in this 21st century for y'all to stop condemning and start accepting certain realities and at least try to follow people who are successful, or a nation who are successful. Try to take pattern from them. How to make your nation successful. No, but you all prefer to sit down there and complain about how much God the Hindus have, about Jesus white, and about a whole bunch of crap. Now you look like you are a very intelligent woman, educated woman, because for me, a lot of what you are saying is facts. And I am not against you. And I am not against of most of what you are saying. But what I am saying is that before you come out and try to educate me as an Indian about my religion, why don't you come out there and try to educate the Negroes about them background, about them future, about them achievements, right? Before you come and try to educate me. Thank you for the education anyway. I learned a lot from what you were saying. But I'm also saying, I don't need you to educate me. Your people need you to educate them. So please, switch your focus from trying to condemn other people's achievements for your glory and try to achieve something in life. Let your nation try to achieve something in life. Right? For you to do that, you have to switch your focus on other people and start focusing on yourself. Okay? Again, I'm not against you. And I'm not saying this to try to embarrass you. I try to say what you're saying is not right. I'm just educating you as well. Okay?
Now the Indian living in India, and when slavery was all over, the British and everyone was down there also in India. And in India there were big chaos and big confusion happening in India. And they were enslaved in India to the point where they were not getting food to eat, to serve these white people. To the point where they had to watch their king and their queen bow down to a white soldier. To the point where they would go out and plant in the fields, and everything from their fields out to the king and the queen. And so they were punishing in India. They were punishing so bad that some of them were starving to death. There is times when you have famine and there is no food and no water, and these people were skin and bones and they were dying out. Punishing so much, things were so bad in India, they want to get out. They had to find a way to get out. So what they do, they come to Guyana on boats, 2 boatload of them, 200 and something on one, 200 something on the other, 6 kids on one, 6 kids on the other. Let me tell you where they came from. They came from a place called Calcutta in India. Some came from the dirty slums that couldn't even help themselves. There is no royalty that was on that boat that came to Guyana. They were all haggard out, tired, worn out, hungry. Some were coolies. Now let me explain what is a coolie. A coolie is a person that do odd jobs, push things around and do whatever. They call them back in India coolie. And in
Once again, thank you for the lesson. You are teaching me a lot. And most of what you are saying is fact. It is fact. But what is not fact, I'm going to correct you. And I'm also going to educate you about what the African race downfall is. Right? Let me get into this. You said after slavery was finished and done with, India then become enslaved by the English, and they had to watch the king and queen bow down to a white man. This after slavery abolished, and they was starving in India, and they had to get out, so they decided to come together. That is not true. They was offered a job when they come to Guyana. They was brought from India by the same slave masters, but not as slave, as indentured laborers. Right? So you don't go there and tell people that they come. Nobody come. They was brought just like how the Africans was brought. And yes, there was no royalty on the 2 boats that you claim come from India. There was no royalty because the people then were suffering. They was dying out, like you say. They were starving. They was all skin and bones. Right? But again, I tell you, try to educate your people, because there was no royalty come on the boats from Africa either. Right? There was no royalty on that. So when you're saying there is no royalty on the Indian boat, you should also mention that there was no royalty on the African boat that come from Africa. They come as slaves, they come as indentured laborers. My point is, although India was enslaved after slavery abolished, India still is one of the most powerful countries in the world at the moment. And Africa is still behind. Why is that? That is why you should be trying to figure out and try to educate your people as to why Africa is still behind, when India was enslaved after slavery abolished. Now, when we come to Guyana, we come to work on a plantation. That is what we was doing, working on a plantation after slavery abolished. But still the Indians in Guyana is more successful than the Africans. When we come and reach out there after slavery was abolished, the mean I was free before we come. Right? And still the Indians are more successful. Back in India, you see they come from Calcutta, wherever they come from, however they reach to Guyana, you don't hear the Indians going out telling the young children, or up to this day and age, come out on a podium or on social media and complain or point fingers to nobody who had India enslaved. No, we don't go back there. We don't live back there. That is the difference between the Indians and the Africans. Y'all continue living slavery. So y'all are enslaving yourself until this day. Mental slavery. Y'all doing that to yourself. But the Indians, them, are not enslaving the mind about what happened before in India and how they reached Guyana. What they did, they used the opportunity to come to Guyana, and now they are successful in Guyana. Where the four parents come from, how they come, when they come, and what they was doing when they come. You don't hear no Indians going out complaining about that or trying to educate the young children about that. No, we move on. Doesn't mean that we forget. We in forget where we come from and how we come. But we are not letting that hold us back from progressing and making a better future for ourselves and with future generation. That is the difference between the Indians and the Africans. Y'all are still enslaving yourself mentally by keep bringing up what happened before. Miss, again, those things done and finished with. Nobody's saying you should forget. But none of y'all in Guyana at the moment was never in slavery. Physical slavery. None of y'all. And none of y'all are not Africans. Y'all are Guyanese. And so as the Indians in Guyana. They is of Indian descent, but they are not Indians. They are Guyanese. Because I can tell you, no black man that wasn't born in Africa could go to Africa and say he's an African. They would deport you. And they would tell you straight, you are not an African. You are of African descent, but you are not an African. And so much as the Indians cannot go to India and say they are Indians, they are not. They are of Indian descent, but they are Guyanese. They are not Indians. Okay? So before y'all continue to enslave yourself about slavery and what the white man do and them things they finish and done. Now, if you're living in the past, how could you live a future? You have to put those things down. You are forming a weapon against yourself by living there. Mentally enslaving yourself by living there. That is what your problem is. You need to put that down and pick up the mantle that is existing now and move forward with that. Now, I'm not saying that you should forget your history or you shouldn't teach your children their history, but there are ways you can teach them to don't mentally enslave them. The way how you are doing it at the moment, you are enslaving them still. They are out of physical slavery, but you are putting them in a mental slavery status. Please stop that. Educate the young Africans as to what they can do now, as to what they can do moving forward to make a better future for them and the future generation of young people. Because every time you bring up slavery is that you're trying to make them a racist. You're trying to put them to hate a next race. Now, what did the Indians do to the Africans? I'm talking about in Guyana, not in general. What did the Indians in Guyana do to the Africans that y'all don't like them? that y'all have something against them. But when the white man come, y'all worship them. When them is the one who bring y'all from Africa. Them is the one who is raping y'all food parents. Them is the one who is beating, whipping, and doing all these things to y'all. What did the Indians do to y'all? Y'all just upset with the Indians because them come to Guyana after y'all and they are more successful than y'all. Now don't see that as a bad thing. See that as an opportunity to make your life better. How you can do what they are doing to make it a better future for you and your generation. How you can do what they are doing to better your life. And don't see this as something bad. It takes hard work and dedication to make it in life. You have to teach your young generation. That is what it takes. That is what it takes to make it in life. Hard work and dedication. You have to have something in your head, what you want to achieve in life, and work towards that. You can't have it in your head and sit down on your couch watching TV and achieve that. Trying to rob somebody, achieve that. Trying to bully somebody to achieve that. You have to work hard. Save. Follow your dream. I'm not saying following your dream if your dream is to thief and rob people. Follow your dream into something positive. And please don't get me wrong. There are a lot of successful Africans, or I should say black Guyanese, who live in Guyana. How they become successful? Not by sitting on the couch watching TV. Not by going robbing other people. Not by making other people's life uncomfortable. They become successful because of hard work and dedication to what they want. For the rest of the black Guyanese in Guyana who are always complaining that the government should do something to make them successful, that the Indian people should do something to make them successful, that the rest of the world should do something to make them successful, when they are not doing nothing for themselves. God help those who help themselves. You cannot want to sit down on the car now, whole day, smoking weed, drinking Guinness, sitting on your couch, watching TV, going out there robbing people, and want to be successful in life. You could never achieve success like that. You could never achieve success in life when you sit down there accusing everybody of not helping you to become successful when you are not helping yourself. Now I can give you a little comparison as to what or how you can start on your journey to success. I'm going to give you a bit about me. My father's name was Oswald Simmons. He and my mother have 5 children. I am the third one, and I am the only one who looked more like an Indian than a Douglas. The next 4 is Douglas. He leave us on the road, the public road, in front of Agricola roadhead, on the public road, my mother and 3 children, because 2 of them was in Berbice. The 2 elder one was in Berbice with my grandmother. He leave my mother on the road with your clothes, your children clothes, and she took 3 children. And so he coming back just now because he didn't want to pay people the rent, and they put we out. He gonna find some way to rent and come back. We didn't see him till 10 years after, or probably a little longer. I can't remember exactly. But my mother do what she had to do to take care of her 3 children. I see people advantage my mother. I see people advantage her. And she find a man by the name of Norman Moore, who was also a doctor, who take us off the road. And he was our father. When you do wrong, he beat you. When you do good, he reward you. But he always point us in the right direction. Now, I grew up in Agricola. I could have become a criminal very easy. I could have become somebody who didn't want a future very easy. But I didn't choose the path. I think I deserve something better in terms of helping my mother and the rest of my family. When I could, I help. When I can't, I can't. But my road to success, I am not as successful as I want to be at the moment, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. And I'll just give you a little history about me, from where I come from and where I am at the moment. I start cutting grass for people and going to school at the same time. So I would have to wake up in the morning, cut some grass, go to school, come back in the afternoon, cut some grass, put it in a donkey cart and pull it to Eccles. People who know me know what I'm saying. From there, I left and go do porter work. From porter work, I left and go work in the gold bush. From the gold bush, I left and go work on sea. Come back from sea. My stepfather, Norman Moore, tell me two things. When you can walk on sea, you go on sea again. Or when bush come to town, is when you go bush again. Right? So I had to end up go back and do porter work again. I work flour mill, I fetch flour bag, rice bag, a sugar bag, cement, all of that. I go and live in Black Bush. I go and cut rice, fetch paddy bag. I work Continental. I work landscaping. I work in baker shop. And then I go and do construction. Now I'm a contractor. When I say a contractor, I can build a house, but at the moment I am a subcontractor. I work, I build a chicken pen. I have a family at the moment. I have a vehicle at the moment, and I'm still doing construction. My success is not where I want it to be at the moment, but I'm getting there by hard work and dedication. Right? That is a little bit of my history. I didn't born and grow with a gold spoon in my mouth. And I'm not saying that any Guyanese born and, well, a lot of Guyanese did not born and grow with a gold spoon in their mouth. But my objective is to be successful in life, not for me, but for my children, for the future generation. What I'm doing here is not for me. It's for my children to inherit, and they won't have to go through the things I went through in life. I am not where I want to be, but I am working to get there. And as God above me, if He gives me the opportunity to, with the health and strength to continue doing what I'm doing, I will get there. Now, this is just a little message to the young Guyanese, whether you're black, Indian, or what, that nothing comes easy in life. But unless you try, you wouldn't know what your achievements can be. It's better you try and fail than fail to try. So it's better you go out there and try something and don't make it than sit on there and thinking that you cannot make it before you even try. Get up off of your ass and go out there and try to do something. Come on, go to the government, get a piece of land, do some farming. How all these Indians have this rice field, they have the house, the farm in the backyard, they're doing something to make better for themselves and the children. Come on, y'all could do the same thing, people. Y'all could do the same thing. But y'all prefer to go and plant weed, which that is against the law. Before you plant weed, plant some baygon, plant okra, plant pumpkin, plant something that is not against the law that could bring in a decent and honest earnings for you and your family. Come on, the same time you take to plant weed, you could plant something else. And you can't tell me you can't get them sell, because every other thing that the Indians them planting, selling. Why you won't can't sell? Come on, y'all have to be thinking productive to be productive. You understand? Y'all cannot just sit down there and thinking that, oh, if I try this thing and work, and I ain't gonna work with nobody in the hot sun for nothing. No, you're gonna sit down in your house and get it. Who can bring it and give you? Who? Nobody can bring nothing and give you. You have to go out there and try. Come on, people. To the black Guyanese mostly, y'all could do better. Y'all could make it. And you have to start sometime. So for those of you who all already and did not make it, they didn't mean that you cannot teach your children how to make it now and help them to make it. So when them get their children, they can have a better life than what they have now. Come on, we could do that. We can. You cannot sit down there and depend on other people to give you your fortune. And again, you have to be thinking about your future generation, not about yourself and your personal objective. But I'm gonna tell you something. Soon as you get the money, you want to buy a car. A big fancy car. And you can't buy tire for it when you're done. Soon as you get some money, you want to buy Nike. Brand name. Go and party and look woman. People, that is not the way forward. You want to have this child more and that child more and that child more, and then you could have you have to pay child support for all of them. So the little money where you do go out and work now, where you're supposed to make it better for yourself and your future generation, you have to go and pay child support with it. This is not the way forward. And I'll give you a little joke. I used to work with a black guy named Nigel. And he tell me that his father had a big house and an extra piece of land alongside the house. And opposite he have some Indians living in a little shack. They didn't even have a bedroom, but they had 4 children. And all of them, mother, father, and 4 children living in there. And the man was cutting cane. And they saved them money. And they buy the land from Nigel's father. And the reason why he decided he can sell the land because he want to buy a minibus. Them buy the land from Nigel's father and they open a shop. A small shop. And from the small shop, they end up get a house, they get car, they get other houses, other land and everything. So all the children are well set. But Nigel's father take the bus and he go on the road collecting the passenger and looking woman. He looking woman, so every money he collect, he have to give it to the woman then. So when something go bad with the bus, he don't have the money to fix it until the bus scrap. Now, he don't have nothing but the house. He don't have a business. He don't have no other income. He have to depend on Nigel and the rest of his siblings and his children to send something to keep you alive. Now, I'm just telling y'all this to educate y'all at how you have to be thinking to be successful in life. Because the Indian man who buy the land could buy a minibus too. And he could do the same thing what Nigel's father was doing, but though wouldn't benefit his children and his family. Right? He decided to do something else with the money. Come on, people. We need to think positive. And when you think positive, you will get positive outcome. You need to get up off your ass and stop liming in the corner. Stop trying to rob people, blame people, accuse people. And do something for yourself. You have to start sometime. So if you didn't start before, you can start now. It's never too late. And again, for you adults, what you are doing now or what you are going to do now is not for you. It's for your children and their children. You have to make them life better. Let them have a life to live which is more comfortable than what you had in your time. Not because your father didn't look after you or he didn't provide for you, doesn't mean that you have to do the same for your children. No, you can change that by thinking positive. Okay? Okay, everybody. That brings us to the end of this video. Please stay safe, stay away from running, and continue looking out for each other. Defend your community, defend your neighborhood, defend your family, your friends. Be prepared to defend yourself. Okay? See y'all in the next video. Remember I said earlier that this video would have two parts, right? So this is one, and the next video will be the next part, the continuation of this one, because she said a lot more things, a lot of things that make a lot of sense, and a lot of things she needs correction on. But it's because the amount of time I talk and try to explain how we can make the country better for each other, it takes up a lot of time. So I had to cut it off, and I'll continue next one. Okay, so see you in the next video.